the model here. Isolated rock, 400 meters above what? Sea level. What sea level? Dead sea level, yes. It's like 0 above sea level. But here it's 400 meters above sea level. So when you're up there, think about the beach in Australia, whatever you live there, huh? And okay, yeah, look at it a little bit. Look, this is isolated rock. You see the mountain of Judean desert all around, but this is a rock. It's not connected to the others. You see the snake pass going zigzagging up there. You don't see the cable car, that's good, but we're going to take the cable car. Look, around Masada, there is a line around it. You see the line down there? This is what was left from the siege wall of the Romans.
Really?
They built a siege wall. They had time to build it. And you can even find down there the 7 bases they had, like squares, the command of the base. So when we take the cable car, the first thing you see down there is the Roman camp. It's the only one that they reconstructed. Oh, yes, it's too early in the morning, right? The others are the same as they were found. So the Romans were all around. They built their camps. They knew it will take them a long time, and they built a siege wall. Who built it for them? Slaves. Of course. Who were slaves that time? The Jews, because the war was over 3 years ago in Jerusalem. Okay, this is the last scenery. Okay, now up there you see that Masada is surrounded with another wall. What for? Who can climb it? But there is a wall up there, and some palaces and storage and whatever, and still the question is water.
Okay, so we just watched a short film
It was not a short film, it was a moving experience.
about the history
And the revolution
of Masada.
of the people. Now let's go see it.
Now let's go and see it. We're lining up. We're lining up for the cable car. So we're at the base of Masada.
Yes, we are.
Here we are. It's another beautiful day. It's not too hot. There's a little bit of cloud cover. You and I were going to climb up the top, but we're rushed for time. We have to take the cable car.
Yeah, we really wanted to walk up.
We were gonna
Jono
do it.
and me, we wanted to walk up, but we've got some folks that aren't quite as physically fit as Jono, so we're going to take the cable car so we can have the Truth to Use radio show on the cable car.
That's we're going to take this cable car. And because to walk up is what, a couple of hours?
Yeah, at least they say about 2 hours, hour and 50 minutes or so. And they have to do it early in the morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning, because it gets so hot. So people, like 4 o'clock in the morning, they go up and they watch the sunrise.
We could have done it in an hour, Keith.
We could have done it in an hour.
We could have done it, but we don't have a spare hour, so we're going to take the cable car, and we'll join you listeners at the top. So the cable car is pretty fast. I heard my ears pop as I was going up.
Without even one column in the middle. You see it? Only cables from side to side.
Cable from side to side, and now we're up the top. We're on Masada. It's incredible. And we are sea level. Not dead sea level, but sea level.
It's about sea level, yes, right.
It's about sea level on top. Oh, the view is spectacular.
Yeah. Look at the view. You can hear the sound of quiet. You can feel the air above your head. This is a special place here. Sometimes it's so quiet. And today also, it's Friday, so we don't have the schools here around because Shabbat is getting soon. So first of all, this is the quarry, because you were not dumb to carry stones from down there, right? So whatever was built here from that quarry. And we see construction. First of all, the wall. We got in through the main gate of Masada, and we crossed by the wall. If you look carefully to that wall, it's what is called in the Bible Chomat Sogarim. Choma is wall. Sogarim, soger, to close. Something that you can close. And King Solomon and his period of time, they use it a lot. I mean, 2 parallel walls, like chain of rooms or spaces. So in peacetime, people can live in between and use the wall for living or for, I don't know, bakery, shoes maker, or any kind of industry in town. In case of emergency, they fill the space with other stones, mud, whatever, and then you have wide wall. So this is the idea of the biblical Chomat Sugarim. So we are not in the biblical time, but we still have the Chomat Sugarim around, all around Masada.
Yes.
What for? Who can attack this wall from down there? But they have a wall here. Yeah? And this group of people, of Jews that came here, escaping from Jerusalem, the Zealots, they knew already that this place was fortificated by Hashmonites and then by great hordes. Okay, 40 years passed between, last one maybe 70 years, 70 years. Herods died 4 BC, right? And they came here 70 to the 1st century. So this is the time that nobody ever come here. Not to renew storages or take care of the walls or take care of the water storages. 70 years. But they knew about this place and they escaped from Jerusalem. They could do it fast, 3 days walking, and they are here. Climbing up with the kids, whatever. And they lived, where did they live? In the Chomat Sugarim.
In the Chomat.
Yeah. You made the Chomat Sugarim for the living, and we found their bakery, I found their other kind of little, let's say, leather shop or leather worker place, whatever they needed for their life. Because they spent 3 years here. I'm sure they had even a little school here. Because they were thinking about living. The idea was, if the Roman comes, they will die. But to continue living. A Roman came and put a siege around. The Roman understood they cannot attack simply. There's no how. So they built a siege and they built their camps and they planned for a long conventional military siege. This is what they did. And the movie showed it very good. You saw Ehud Netzer movie, right?
Yes.
Ehud Netzer had a fight with Indiana Jones that they wanted to make the movie. No. Okay, let's continue. For the next one. We have a space, a house.
House.
Yeah, it's a house. Look very good. This is the entrance, open to the air. 2 columns over here to support the ceiling. And they renewed the plasters and the painting. It were not so clear. They were taken to Italy and brought back. So this is why they are clean, like it was made yesterday. But someone that lived here had a luxury life. Because not in every house in Jerusalem they could paint the walls. Here in the middle of the desert, they paint the wall. Who lived here? Kid? No. The one that lived here was a manager. That's a manager. He had to live. Herod never lived here. He built it for security. He never had any emergency to escape here. He might come to see that work are done properly, but he didn't have to come here. Everything was ready for him, but he never came here. But a manager all the time was here for him, not when the zealots came. Let's continue. You'll see the job of the... So, first of all, there is a narrow street here. Strange building. Not many entrances. And we saw before we got here a tower. A tower here inside the site, not on the walls. Not to protect, to watch to other places. Inside tower and a complex with only one entrance and narrow walls. What for? It is not a fortress here. A luxury house over there, a watchtower over there. narrow street lead to something and not many ways to escape or to. This is something that must be protected. Let's see. Let's go on. And before there was a question about the black line here. This is the line of reconstruction. So imagine that everything above the line was original. This is the way we knew to reconstruct the down part. No? No? Okay, don't ever believe the guy. Now we'll make room to the others. We'll stay here. The question is, why they needed so many storages and so big? What could they storage here? Oil, wheat, grains, and not too much, but for a long time. Okay? They never were so many. 700 is many. And they came here and they still found things here. They had to renew some parts of the wall. They had to renew the storages. A problem is the water. We'll talk about it later on. You understand the capacity of the storage of Masada? Yeah. Let's continue. This is the bath house, the Biyachad, Roman style, Roman bath house. But Herod built it for himself, a sort of a mikveh over there. Look at the courtyard here, sort of a patio here, a nice one. You still see it's disappearing the colors of what they had in the wall, like in the other house. 20 years ago it was a little bit stronger, but yeah, it all plastered. It was colored, and now we're going to the Roman bath house.
So the source of the water, you're going to tell us about the source of the water?
You have to wait. You have to wait. They waited till rain time. So, and there is rain 1 per 10 years. So wait.
1 per 10 years? They were here
5 years. Okay.
They were
I
here
won't
for,
argue.
They were
with
here
you.
for 3. They were here for 3. They
It
collected
was
that
3
much?
yesterday, but it's global changing.
Whatever.
Now you're in the main part of the bath house. So undress, please. The Roman house was divided to 3 parts. The frigidarium, that pool with cold water, frigidarium. The tepidarium, the mid one here, it's like a place with the outside atmosphere, and the caldarium is when we go right now. Yeah. Okay. The caldarium, so the first thing you see here, double floor. The floor, pillars of what kind of material? Stone in this case. Not only stones. You see some clay, right? And we don't have clay around. Herod brought the clay from another place. The clay can survive very hot temperature, right? So we need the clay here. He was wise. Okay, so we have those little pillars and an upper floor. You can see here. This is the upper floor, reconstructed, but you can see original part of the upper floor. Look there. And in between, you see the black sign of fire, right? And here you see the sign of fire. Right? So it was so hot. Because the slaves or servants outside, they had an oven. They had wood material on fire, and then they blew the fire into the space between the floors. This was their job. One oven, servants, and the upper floor was so hot. Then came other servants. A pure cold water on the floor.
Sauna.
So we have steam, right? This is sauna. They had steam. They pour the cold water. Then the water, the vapors, the steams, go up to the ceiling. And Herod didn't like to feel the drop on his head. This is why he ordered to make it rounded, you know? So the water slide to the side, yeah. Then it was collected by those pipes to start a new circulation. 2,000 years ago, Roman or Herodian sauna. Okay?
So Masada had a sauna.
Yeah. So we saw the storages. Now look to the storages. You see the whole complex. Look.
Oh, wow.
You understand why they needed a watchtower over there? Not outside, inside. To look for inside. To control the storages. It was so important. No one could enter without a license here. You see it here. Another one that was not reconstructed, waiting for the future. You see the difference. It's a beautiful picture to see, to understand. But let's try to find for one solution for the water there. They needed water for a mikveh, for bathhouse. Look at this inclinated plaster wall. Above, empty space, only rock. In case of rain, nothing can infiltrate it because it's a pure rock. So all this is a drainage area, right? It can bring some water to this area. In case of rain, we have 50 millimeters in average a year. The climate was the same, let's say, so it's not enough. If you have 2 millimeter rain, which is common, you have about 8-10 times a year like this, it's touch the stone and evaporate. That's it. But if you have more than 6 millimeters, so it starts to run down. How many times a year you have more than 6 millimeters rain here? 1 per 2 years? 1 per 3 years? Sometimes twice a year? This is what we are talking. So it's not enough. This is not an answer. It's a local answer. It can help. But the zealots could not build their hope on this one. Okay? So we're still looking for another things to help. Yes.
Another source of water. They had to have enough water for 3 years for 700 people. And what you just showed us was the drainage system down the rock that collected, but it's not enough. So there must be another water source somewhere.
Of course, of course.
Okay.
We're getting down to it.
We're getting down to it. So this is the palace.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at a model here. Where exactly are we standing?
You're here.
We're right there.
See that?
On an observation deck, right?
Yeah. So Herod built for himself a palace on the best place on Masada. Here, that rock, is there a best place? The same rock from all over? No. This is the highest point. Maybe more breeze a little bit than the other side. Yeah, we feel it right now. But usually it's so hot. But this is the northest point of the rock. So more shady hours this direction. That's important. He knew everything. Yeah, he knew every movement in Israel. Okay, so he knew this also. And he built 3 stores palace. We're at the top, at that deck. This is one of the room. Other room. This is a main room. You see other rooms. So better climate, shade, breeze, view, everything make it to be the most important place for Herod. This is the northern palace. Yes. Let's try to look at the view. Let's. And you look to the north. Far away there are some trees over there. You see the trees, the green area?
Palm trees?
Palm trees. This is an oasis. Some spring over there. Yes. An oasis in a desert. Source of water. Palm trees. This is En Gedi, an oasis. Yeah, you saw it yesterday. You'll see it today after we leave it. Anyway, this oasis is the only source of fresh water in the area.
So we just had a continual convoy of slaves bringing water up here?
You say we are talking about whom?
Herod.
No, when you say we, you're right. We're talking about the Romans.
The Romans had to go.
They were down there. They needed that supplies of water.
So they had plenty of water.
Herod or the zealots inside No. They didn't went down all the time. Just to imagine, you walk up, carry the water until you get here. You drink all the water.
Yeah.
Right? In
Well,
45
but here-
degrees here you have. Anyway, so it's about 18 kilometers from here, and this is this distance. The Roman saved the slave. They sent them over there to bring water. The slave could not drink the water.
They couldn't drink the water?
No. The slave, they could live about 3 to 4 weeks before they died, whatever, or they got so little bit of it because they needed the water for 15,000 soldiers, 3 legions by the book, right? So they brought all the time more slaves and more slaves to replace the others.
Jewish slave.
Of course. So this is what, look at the Romans. This is one camp over there. You see the camp? Yeah? And you
wall.
see the siege wall?
Yeah.
So all Masada was surrounded in this siege wall.
So I'm looking down, Shuki, but it's dry.
It's dry, yes. 2,000 years passed away. No maintenance, no storage, and that's it. Okay, what we see here, this is a water cistern, and you still see the plaster. Because in this limestone, the water infiltrate and escape. Nothing will be left here. So they had to plaster the water cistern. And the other things, that the roof, the natural rock, collapsed down there in 2,000 years, and it is cleaned by now. But you see, there was a stairways to go down to clean, to maintenance, and there was water here. Then we understand that they had to drainage the roof, the streets, the rocks, everywhere was drainage. There's not too much soil to observe the water. So if you drainage the water, you get it here, but you get it with a lot of sediment, right? And they wanted the water to be clear. If they get it to sediment, the sediment will sink down, right? You're going to have a clear water, but then slowly you lose capacity of, you lose space, right? So this is why they had there and here another place that the water came first of all to this place. They come down, they left the sediment here, and it just flew over clean to this water storage.
right.
So this water storage was always clean, and this one, it's not so complicated to clean. Okay, let's continue. Heroes. I said it was a great king. Not beloved one, but he was a great king. Look down here. It's so important to understand what happened here. For this is the easy way to go up. The other side is more steepy, right? This is the road to the palace, and down there is a cave, right? Another one. Look, another caves down there. Can you see there was a sort of a way connecting those caves? Those are not caves, they are water cisterns. And the way that you can point down there, it's not a way, it's an aqueduct. So the water got here from some place, and they fill those huge storages, about 12 of them altogether, with water. So in case of lack of water, and those cisterns are not enough, and there are much more to the other side, you have to go down there and to bring the water, so you can survive. How did you get the water there? Well, an aqueduct. Where from? Okay, look this way. Look at this area. This is a drainage basin, right? In case of one little flood, all the water joined together from many tributaries to near this huge Roman camp. Between the little one, we see the little camp and the big camp, and the siege wall. The siege wall was cutted in the last 2,000 years by this flood that continue in this tributary to the waterfall down there. So once per while there is a flood over there, especially when there are rains in the mountain of Hebron, and you can catch the water. Flood can take in this area, it's a small drainage basin. In this area there is about 30 minutes to 1 hour flood. All the water together from small portion of rain above this area concentrated to this main stream down here. So have a lot of water for half an hour, for 1 hour. You build aqueduct there, you follow the lines, and you get to that level. small inclination. Yeah. Let's try to look at it. So now we have a solution for one question: the water.
The water.
Yeah.
How about that?
Did you see it there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it
One
collects.
solution we got. Look down there. You see the two Roman camp, big one over
Massive.
there. Yeah, massive one. And there, you see the buses?
Yes.
At the front of the buses, you see the capitulating machine, the Romans one. Yeah, from wood.
Oh.
Yeah, catapult. Yes, catapult. This is here for more than 20 years. They made it for the movie, and it's still there. In this climate, it will survive 2,000 years, and then the archaeologists will come and say, "Oh, this is Roman one." Don't trust them. It's there from the time they made the movie. If you go to Beit Shean, on the hill, the biblical city of Beit Shean, there is a dry tree stuck there. It's not original one. It's stuck there till they filmed the Judah Iscariot making his suicide on that tree. And they left the tree over there. From 1973, it's there. It's so dry, it stay there. Okay, if you see Jesus Christ Superstar, you see the tree and the hill of Beit Shean. This is the place to picture it. If you see Jesus Christ Superstar, you see the scenery of all this trip in the movie. Okay? But it's too old. But Mary Magdalene, she sings so good. She was a great singer, Mary Magdalene. Okay, so we leave this place, and now we'll go to find the synagogue. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so he built a synagogue here for the guards, for the manager that have been in this palace. He knew that it's something must be done for the people that he controlled them. He is the king of those people. So I don't think he went to synagogue. I think you're right. Anyway, this is a synagogue of Masada. Then came other people and destroyed the shape of the synagogue, because this room is built on those beautiful seats, and it's ruined the aesthetic shape of the synagogue. Those were the zealots. They came to pray. It was enough for them. They needed a place to hide the Torah books. This is the place that Ehud Netzer found the scrolls here, that they hide it inside. Okay? So this is the synagogue. This is the place, I think, or Ehud Netzer thinks, that the commander, Ben Yair, Elazar Ben Yair, the last night when the attack ramp was ready and they broke the wall and they were preparing for the day after, he called all the guys here and said, "We are here for one reason. To live in freedom or to die in freedom. Let's kill ourselves, kill the families. They won't abuse the women, and the sons won't taste of slavery." And he convinced them, maybe here. Okay? So we're getting to the last stand, right? So this is the place. This is the area of the last stand.
This is it.
And what you see here, there are stones, rounded shape. The zealots, they destroyed the palaces because they didn't need them anymore. And they took the stones, they broke the corners to make it round in shape in order to throw down there to kill the Romans that building the attack ramp. But then Elazar Ben Yair discovered that they are killing brothers, because only the slaves worked there. There were very few Romans and thousands of slaves. He said, "Stop it. You're not allowed to kill brothers." So the Roman could build the attack ramp quietly till the end. And then was the last stand. You saw in the movie, you can read about, you can see in Masada movie, with the tower, they push it up, and the arrows, and the defender wanted, it's small wall, not a good one, wanted to defend the stones by elastic things. And so they took the trunks from the palaces, they destroyed the roof of the palaces, they brought it here. At the end of it, the Roman broke into, they destroyed the wall, but it stayed down there to prepare the other day. This Roman rampart you see down there reached that level, was wider, but it washed away. In 2,000 years of rare rains, it was enough to wash it away. But this is the only one example to show that what we read in books, in historical books, was here. It's right. This is the way. This is the short distance to go from that area up to here. And this is the place they broke the wall. This is the place of the morning after. So you heard about the last stand and what happened here, and the speech of Elazar ben Yair. In the morning the Roman came here. They feared. It was too silent. Too silent. They were waiting for an ambush. They were sure the last fight will be a special one, because they knew that those Jews, they don't have other choice. So they will fight till the death. Nothing happened here. Then they founded the bodies. They founded the storage of water full with water, and the storage of food full with food. So the people here could survive more years. There was no problem. But they couldn't make them slaves. They won one thing, they won their freedom. So there were some skeletons all over, but there's amazing things that at the Northern Palace, when we have been there in excavation, there were 2 skeletons, 3 of them. One soldier with Roman uniform, a lady, and a baby, or boy, young boy. 3 together. In that palace. Who would live in that palace? Elazar ben Yair, I guess. He went to hug his wife and son the last time. As a commander, he was maybe the only one that had uniform. So that skeleton with the uniform might be Elazar ben Yair with his wife and son together at that point of the palace. This was the last stand here in Masada. But the story is not over. Last thing. Today, there is the Golani Brigade. Have you heard about the Golani Brigade, the famous one? When they finish training of the youngest soldiers, when they finish their training, after 2 weeks, 3 weeks training, they open 120 kilometers march, crossing the desert, getting down there. And they do it in 3 days. When the soldiers are there, they cannot go anymore. And then they have to climb up with all the equipments, the snake pass, white one, and they cannot. So the army, without they knowing, takes soldiers, women soldiers, they phone homes. We want you tomorrow here. Who is his girlfriend? We want her tomorrow here. When the soldiers get here, they cannot go anymore. Surprisingly, they see the families and the girlfriends. They start to push them. Go on! Don't stop! A little bit more! Push a little more! Then the girls are there. They cannot stop. Yeah? And all the units, it's up here for the ceremony. Here. And then ceremony with the flag of Israel. And the letter with fire says, Masada lo tipol shenit. Masada will never fall again. This is a symbol to fight for the freedom. Okay? Let's go back to the bus. We're late.